Hello, hockey fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this message early on the afternoon of Friday, 25th of March, 2022, North American Eastern Time. What I would do is talk about the various results of on Wednesday and Thursday involving teams that in 2021, early 2021, were in the NHL's North Division, also known as the All Canadian Division. So I follow those ex-North Division teams. During the just to introduce myself, typically during the regular season, I'm a fan usually only of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But when I'm also thinking preseason. But when a postseason hits, I'm typically a fan of teams that were in the North Division, but hopefully other than the Habs. Again, I know the Habs have won a whole bunch of Stanley Cups since my hometown Leafs last won one of their own. I 100% respect the Habs. I know there's this interesting short story by Ross Carrier, a Habs fan who claimed to not like to wear a Leafs sweater. I know Ross Carrier, I understand you. On the other hand, I respect the Habs for what they've accomplished. They definitely have won more. They definitely managed to win more playoff rounds last season alone than the Canucks had managed to win during their entire tenure under Jim Benning. Or certainly, in the case of the Winnipeg Jets, since going down with the Golden Knights in 2018 or so, since then. So, I'm going to go scroll the recap. I know my hometown Leafs have a big job to do on the weekend. Playing an away game against the Habs on Saturday, followed by a home game on Sunday against the Florida Panthers. Just a recap. Yeah, the Bruins ended up winning Lightning 3-2, so kind of switching of places. Lightning are in the wild card, fourth place in that division. Boston Bruins are in third. Hometown Leafs were out of action, but thankfully they ended up winning with a rather impressive performance of Peter Mrazek, stopping all but two shots in a 3-2 victory over the New Jersey Devils. But it was a come-from-behind win, so yeah, there are issues. Hopefully, Mrazek's performance is more than just a flash in the pan. We shall see what happens, but it's going to be real important for the Leafs to take at least 3 points out of this weekend, because the Bruins and Lightning are nipping at their heels. And if the Leafs aren't careful, they could go down in the wild card. And that ain't going to be good, necessarily. But again, so, recap there. The Florida Panthers beat the Habs 4-3 in regulation. The Habs have so far gone that I think it'll just be a matter of days before the Habs are eliminated from postseason contention altogether. Well, then it'll be, let's go down to Sanders beating the Winnipeg Jets 5-2. We'll get to that in a moment. Canucks fall to the Minnesota Wild in overtime 3-2. The Oilers, a rather impressive win 5-2 over the San Jose Sharks. It was a home win. And that was kind of it for action involving former North Division teams. So, I know that check for videos from passionate Canucks fan, Canuck Clay, also known as Clay Imu. I don't know, I don't know what the reason is that he hasn't uploaded a video yet on the overtime loss to Minnesota Wild. I don't really care. Doesn't matter. He'll do what he wants to do, and I know he's very involved in a church over in the Lower Mainland. So I don't really know. So, come to the standings among four North Division teams. We have, all right. So in terms of points, it's going to go here for among four North Division teams. We have the Leafs with 85 and 63 games. Calgary Flames have 84 in the same number of games. Those two teams are in postseason spots. Have the Oilers with 77 and 65, third in the Pacific Division. The Canucks, are fourth, 71 over 66 games. The Jets, 70 points over 65. Both Canucks and Jets are out of the postseason. I believe there's an episode Tim and Sid about whether, he was released on Thursday North American Eastern Time, about whether the Jets or Canucks would end up making the postseason this time around. Well, the answer is things are not looking good for either team. Although at least the Canucks got a point. So after the Winnipeg Jets, Senators have 51 points in 64 games, and the Habs with 44 in 64 games. So yeah, so for the Habs, it's been pretty much a lost season. So just to recap, the Leafs, Flames, and Oilers are in playoff spots. All the remaining four North Division teams are not. So the Oilers, a very impressive win. Looks like they're firing on all cylinders. Yeah, sure, it's now the Sharks, but we gotta beat teams that are below the playoff line and above it. And I think the Oilers, doing pretty impressive with 13 points in their last 10 games. Same number as the Calgary Flames. My hometown. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to in terms of their last 10. When it comes to the Oilers and Flames are tied in terms of 13 points in the last 10. Winnipeg Jets have 12. Hometown Leafs have 11. The Canucks have, the same number. The Habs do 2. And then we have, Then we have the Senators with 8 points. So Leafs are doing great. Haven't done great in the last 10. So when it comes to the focus a lot on the Jets and Canucks, do they have a chance to make the postseason? Well, seems pretty bad in Jets land. I'm just going to recap. I'm going to go to Game Center. That's what I want to do. Alright, so I'm just going to go and duplicate that tab in my Chrome browser there. Kind of has a Google Chrome like browser. Just going to Senators score 4 in third. Cool off Jets. Well, I don't really one bit. So I'm just gonna. All right, so let's go. So just recap first period. Then we'll look out of the ho hum. Josh Morrissey from Shifley and Wheeler at the 8:38 mark, followed by Brady Tkachuk, assisted by Archie Omizu and a Norris guy. I forget his first name, but whatever. 14:03 mark, it was tied up. And then the Sens went to town on the Jets. Tyler Ennis from Matthew Joseph and Chris Tierney at the 12:25 mark. Colin White from Stutzla and Brandstrom a bit over 2 minutes after that. It was a power play. Carl Brown from Stutzla and Del Zotto a bit under a minute later. Kyle Connor scored 17:06 mark of the third to pull the Jets to within 2. But that would be as good as things we're going to get in Jets land. Because Brady Tkachuk, being an empty netter, would put away the game for good if it hadn't already been put away for good at the 18:44 mark. So very late in third period. So just going to do the team stats. So yeah, the Jets won 55% of their face-offs. They were outshot, but they won over half their face-offs, but they didn't get a power play opportunity. Jets took a couple penalty minutes, but on the only shorthand situation, they failed. So that's really, but their offense kind of didn't really get going. And well, at least the Canucks can say that, well, they ended up winning. Alright. Oh, technical difficulty there, so what can you do? Alright, just going to Yeah, I don't really say too much about the Oilers because they're on a roll, they're motoring along, and as of now, the Oilers are in third in the Pacific Division, 65 games played, 77 points, well, 3 points ahead of the Golden Knights for that third spot. The Calgary Flames are 7 points ahead of the Golden Knights, but have played 2 fewer games. So, I'm going to go to the scores, just a moment here, for Thursday, 24th of March. So now, I'm going to go to the Canucks. And, alright, where do we go to here? The Canucks in the wilds of Minnesota. Just going to go to the game center. It's on NHL.com to do that. So, just to recap. Alright, so Eriksson Ek, Wild, beat Canucks in OT, spoil Bruce Boudreau's return. Alright, so just to recap, in that game, the Canucks got on the board early. At the 4:13 mark, Bo Horvat from Ekman Larson and Besser, and there was an even strength goal. And then it was the turn of Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild from Hardman and Zuccarello to tie things up a bit under 4 minutes later. Second period featured a goal by Kevin Fiala for the Minnesota Wild, unassisted, very early on to put the Wild ahead at 2-1. There would be no scoring until JT Miller of the Canucks would pull his team even with a bit under 8 minutes having gone in the third. And that was on a power play. Then Joel Eriksson Ek, with a bit over half a minute having gone in overtime, put the game away. So the Canucks lost their game. And just to recap the standings, we have Dallas Stars at 75 points in 63 games, in possession of the second Western wildcard spot. The Vancouver Canucks are 4 points back, ending up having, with that extra point, it's 71 points from 70. The Jets, didn't really go anywhere, having thrown good defense right under the bus. Apparently the Oilers had learned from their loss to the Dallas Stars. They had to up the game, and they did. The Oilers blew a lead on a third period lead, 3 unanswered goals by the Dallas Stars, and that was it. With Coach Woodcroft having claimed that the Oilers need to do a better job of holding on to leads, they can do that. Well, against San Jose Sharks, no problem. But can the Canucks or the Jets make playoffs? It's not going to be easy to do. Dallas Stars have played 63 games, the Canucks 66. The Jets have played 65. So, are the Jets finished? Well, things aren't looking too good. I'll tell you that. Of course, it'd be nice to see the Jets and Canucks make the postseason, but I don't know if the Jets can have chances. Yeah, Jets have 3 more games against so-called bottom feeders, but using the mantra, they're bottom feeders, so we shouldn't have a problem at all. Well, the Jets did with the Senators. Let's hope the hometown Leafs don't have the same problem with the Habs on Saturday. It's not like the Leafs have done amazing against teams from their own division, other than Scotiabank Arena this season. So it's going to be real important for the Leafs to tighten up the defense, start on time for the love of God, and not do what the Jets did on Thursday, or what the Canucks did. Score early, but then forget about most of the rest of the game. But the Canucks earned a point, the Jets didn't. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to find out. But it's looking more likely that the Leafs, Flames, and Oilers will qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The question is whether the Leafs can get past the first round. We'll see what happens. See what happens with the Flames and Oilers. Who knows? It's going to be exciting in the first round. We'll see what happens. All I say is I'm pro-Canada, hoping that a Canadian team other than the Habs win the Stanley Cup for the first time since 1990. I feel the Flames have the best chance. The Leafs, probably among those 3 that are in a playoff spot, have the worst. But that's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. Go Leafs, go.